My voice is struggling. I don't understand what happened there. Now, check this out. We're back at it again. Now we're starting a new IP. This one is about a Cyclops. We're going to go into detail about that. And in this video, you're going to see Kyle do sketches and illustrations. You're going to see me do some music. This time I used a orchestral ensemble again, akin to the Kara project. So this one does a lot of keyboard work, and I feel like it really fit the project well. And we're going to go into that. We also need to talk about in this the story, because it's part one. And traditionally, and by traditionally I mean within the last new format change, we do this. So, Kyle.
Yeah.
We talk about, what did we do last time? How did we do that? We do inspiration, the thing, and then
the other thing.
Yeah, and then the thing after that.
But not before we do the thing, yeah.
So let's talk about the inspiration to this.
Yeah.
What was our mode of inspiration?
I can't remember if the desire to want to do something that looked like an old Greek vase drove me wanting to do this, or if the idea of having a character that was set in like a Greek mythological universe. I don't remember which one came first.
I think the idea for the IP came first, if I'm remembering correctly, and then we fit the pieces around it.
Yeah.
Which was the gentle giant.
Yes.
We wanted to do something a little bit different where we liked the contrast of taking a brute and making it gentle.
Yeah.
So where he goes against the grain, and then I think from there it progressed into the Cyclops that we have. Because
Yeah.
we have a lot of random conversations. And we even have a lot of random conversations in front of you. And so this was one of those random conversation moments that grew the Cyclops from that. And then I think that's when you mentioned you wanted to do the Greek art that we see from this. Now, I'm just gonna come right out front of the gates and say that both of us aren't entirely pleased with this IP, but we already have all the content made and we don't want to abandon anything.
Right.
And also, we think that maybe if we flesh it out and give it some time and experiment with it as time goes on, that it'll have a little more to it.
Yeah,
so,
might be something there.
Yeah, so the story is pretty much just, hey, he's a Cyclops. He doesn't want to be a warrior. He wants to make pottery and trinkets and knickknacks, and he's clumsy, and he's got to get a ragtag group of people to help him out. And so with that is, you have a Minotaur that helps him get raw materials and stuff like that. That also wants to kind of be the gentle giant and not so much a warrior. And then they're kind of being coached along their creative process by a fairy, and you'll see that in the next video after this one. And then there's a little boy that helps them to tie it into the human element. And they have a shop, and we've got this idea, and as I'm fleshing it out, it'd be neat, like if they had a storefront maybe, or they had a little stand in the marketplace, and they're trying to hustle and sell things, and that could be their little push-pull there. And so we cover the inspiration, a little bit of the story, and as far as this execution goes on this one, as the overarching project, not so much for the Cyclops directly, because we're going to go into that next. Was there anything that really like poked its face out at you with this as a project in the whole?
Not really. I mean, this was, like I said, this was one that was kind of inspired a lot by, like, once we figured out it was Greek, I was looking back at Greek vases and stuff like that. So that's kind of the biggest thing that when I think about this project, it pulls from my brain.
Okay, and so for me, what I wanted to do was I wanted to have a contrast between, something that was kind of perceived as, I wouldn't say powerful, but sturdy as far as the music goes, and then I wanted it to be contrasted with something that was very airy and gentle. And so you'll try to hear me emulate that in this. Anyways, enough of us rambling. You're going to get onto the video here, the bulk of it, where you're going to watch him sketch the Cyclops and make it all work, and then you're going to watch me make some silly music to try to accompany him. Check it out. Hello, hi.
What's
Hello.
up?
I'm moving the mic closer to you, probably. Okay. Hey.
Chocolate rain.
Okay. Well, I can tell you've had caffeine.
I have.
Hey, it's your turn to talk about what you did, so I'm going to talk about what you did.
Okay.
Kyle,
What's up?
you talked a little bit in the intro about your inspiration, but can you elaborate on that a little bit? What was your inspiration for Cyclops, man?
So once we came up with the story for the gentle giant, and then somehow we came up with the idea of a Cyclops. I know Cyclops to be kind of like a mythological figure in Greek traditions. So I thought it'd be really cool to try and make the art style of the universe mimic Greek art. And so that was kind of like the big driving factor for my choices in this one.
What is that exactly? What would make that, what is it, real defined edging or something? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Or
No,
lines are bold or?
Yeah, it's kind of like, so I made bold lines because like Greek vases are obviously huge when you think of Greek art, but a lot of their lines are really like semi-straight, geometric curves, things like that. The field of vision is more two-dimensional than it is three-dimensional, especially on a Greek vase. You have a lot of flattened space, so I wanted to try and flatten the space without feeling like, it was two-dimensional. But I don't know, yeah.
Okay, I'm hearing you. Now, as far as this goes, was there anything that you had to bust out in your toolkit? Did you have to use some different points of references? What was going on here?
Yeah, I mean, typical, obviously, sketchbook to iPad. But as far as reference material, I actually did look at the old Greek vases to try and get an idea of how I was going to.
We are not sponsored by Greek vases.
Right, Greek vases. Filled with Gatorade, I don't know. But I was looking at Greek vases and trying to get an idea of kind of how they played with space and form and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, the same toolkit.
Okay, all right, I'm into that. And then as far as the execution of this goes, was it anything challenging about that added that maybe brought you outside of your normal wheelhouse?
Yes. So this is really weird, and I don't know. Maybe other artists out there will like feel me on this one. Like they'll understand me on a cellular level. But for so long, I tried to make things realistic. Like that was the pinnacle of art in my like young brain, was to try and make things look like it was a photograph. And so like even when I went to college, I started understanding the concept more of not everything needs to look like a photograph. And now when I go back and try and like simplify things or make, I don't know, like more stylized universes, it's either, I feel like I'm really good at making it either hyper realistic or look like a 4-year-old drew it with crayons. And so there's this like really weird push and pull of trying to make it look like a very stylized, child-friendly, I guess, universe without making it look like my niece drew it. So that's kind of, I mean, it's weirdly hard, and I don't know why.
I could see that, and that's kind of what I do with the music, but we're gonna save that for the next talk.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I'm bringing that into it. All right, man, I appreciate your advice. They appreciate your advice. We appreciate your advice collectively. Don't make that sound.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Just messing with you, man. Okay, well, that was the art part.
Part.
Now we're gonna move on to the music part.
All right, John, guess what time it is? No, don't actually guess the time. He looked at the clock, guys. It's time for music, John.
I haven't even said anything yet.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah,
hold
no,
on a
it's
minute.
music time.
Yeah, listen to me. You know what? I'm gonna move this mic a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, show us some love. There you go.
All right, man, it's music time.
It's music time. So I guess the biggest question that we always like to start with is...
No, I didn't make any new Bernie Sanders memes today.
See, I feel like you can't make new ones. They've all been made. It's over. Anyway.
Unless we start replacing Bernie Sanders with something else in that meme, right? Is that how we meme the meme?
I feel like we're getting so meta right now. My brain's just smoking.
We've wasted like too much time because of me.
So much time.
Because of me. Ask me the question.
I couldn't even remember the question. What is your inspiration for this?
My inspiration for this was I wanted to have the orchestral vibe to it, the sounds from that, because I feel like when you're dealing with a world that's ancient, it's great to pull out the dusty old ancient instruments.
Yeah.
And also they add like a layer of sophistication, but with the ability to kind of pull out kind of playfulness at
Yeah.
the same time, which is what you were trying to do with your art.
Yeah.
And so there you go. That's what kind of inspired me with this is that, and that also fits into the next question you're gonna ask me.
Exactly. And guess what? The next question I'm going to ask you is, what was your toolkit?
Was the orchestral ensemble reverb? In editing, I'm gonna put reverb on that.
I hope you do.
Oh, there's gonna be a bunch. It's gonna be pretty stupid, but yeah. So the orchestra ensemble, I used an instrument that I cannot pronounce, and then I used a brass ensemble. I used a glockenspiel, and then I used a xylophone. The instrument that I can't remember what it's called was some kind of a thing that was like a xylophone.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Started with an M. I pick things, and I'm from Southern Illinois, so.
We ain't got them fancy things.
Yeah, I don't know how to read none either.
So, with your toolkit being a little bit different than usual, what would you say were some of the biggest challenges or learning experiences for you on this project?
Learning experiences for me was that I need to increase my vocabulary when dealing with orchestral instruments that I don't really know. And I wanted to try to, again, play with the different layers of the ensemble to have them pull out feelings and emotions and different characteristics. And so there wasn't really anything that was difficult per se, but it was just about how I was trying to methodically approach how the glockenspiel gives you kind of a floaty, tiptoey feeling, and how the horns give you this like kind of lumbering sensation from the Cyclops, and then the xylophone kind of adds to his tinkering nature. That's kind of what I wanted to pull from that, and so that was kind of what you're hearing with the execution. But the tempo's pretty moderate to on the slow side, and so it was pretty easy to play. It was more so just stacking the layers appropriately to create, the whole shebang that you're gonna hear at the end here real soon when we pull up the character card. So yeah, that is what it is, and
nothing more.
Yes, and you're done interviewing me. But we also outro now with this, with the voices as they be in. And so, with that being said, you watched us create the Cyclops, the visual component, the musical component. You're going to hear his little song and see his little character card. And we're going to continue to flesh this series out. So make sure that you check us out. On Mondays, the new world building experience. On Wednesdays, the random vlog experience that John is boring. And then Fridays, we come with them loving chatcasts where we try to discuss things about being an artist or maybe some things about us that you didn't know before. So until next time, peace.